Does the minister have an ARPAL?
Minister.
Can you repeat that question?
Member.
I'll rephrase, Chair. Does the minister know what an ARPAL is?
Minister.
I do not.
Is it too much to ask that the people that are picked to run things in this country be qualified? Ladies and gents, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Clyde. Welcome to the show. Let's get going on this story. Some of these, it's unbelievable how much we pay our politicians here in this country. Looking at this article from Narcity from just a few months ago, April 1st. April Fool's is always the day that the government gets a raise. I know, it's funny. And that's also tax increasing day. But asking the question, how much are they actually making now? Well, it turns out if you're a cabinet minister like this guy that we just saw a minute ago, you're making $309,700 on the taxpayers' coffers. Yeah, that's right. We are paying these people to do this job. Now, it's not been since the Biden administration where we've seen some embarrassment like this. And I say the Biden administration because his acting chief of the ATF was embarrassed when he couldn't even take down a Glock. This is the video of that.
And Chris is here. He's one of our leading experts.
Yeah, embarrassing. In fact, many people pointing out how easy it is to take down a Glock.
So easy, in fact, I'm going to do it with my eyes closed. Weird flex, but okay.
Weird flex, but okay. But, it should be one of those things where, how about the guy that's in charge of the thing be a little bit qualified on that thing? This is what was asked in the United States. We have completely different people doing that job now. But here in Canada, it's much the same, where we have the guy who's in charge of public safety, which means the same person who's in charge of firearms in Canada, the firearms, enforcing the rules of regulations with firearms, with the licensing and all of that of firearms. And well, this is the guy who was given the job.
Does the minister have an ARPAL?
Minister.
Can you repeat that question?
Member.
I'll rephrase, Chair. Does the minister know what an ARPAL is?
Minister.
I do not.
Member.
Does the minister know what the CFSC is?
Minister.
I do not, no.
Member.
I'll stipulate, Chair, that is the Canadian firearm safety course that all gun owners in Canada have to do to get their firearms license. Has the minister ever done the Canadian firearm safety course?
Minister.
Speaker, it's my third week on the job. No, I have not.
Member.
Does the minister know what safety classes and safety demands are expected of law-abiding Canadian gun owners?
Minister.
This is not about law-abiding gun owners, Mr. Speaker.
Member.
How can the minister make that claim when he doesn't know the basic fundamentals of law-abiding gun ownership in this country, Chair?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Bill 21 is meant to get serious, dangerous weapons off our streets.
The honourable member, very briefly, and just confirming that he's splitting his time 3 ways.
Chair, will the minister commit to taking the Canadian firearm safety course so he'll know what he's talking about?
That's right.
The honourable minister.
Mr. Speaker, I do not intend to purchase a firearm or use a firearm.
Resuming debate.
Well, you should still know a little bit about it, even if you don't have the intention of doing that. Now, for those who don't know, and that's fine if you don't, if you don't, you may not be in charge of the federal regulation of firearms. So I'll give you a break. What an ARPAL is a restricted possession and acquisition license. There are two classifications of this. You can have your PAL, which is the possession and acquisition license, which is your first one. You can only get long guns, things like that. And then restricted, used to be able to get pistols, but those are now illegal in Canada. There are certain firearms that are under the restricted category that you are allowed to possess and acquire. That's the whole idea of this licensing. But this is the guy who's in charge of said procedures, and he has no knowledge of this. In fact, this isn't his first showing of this. Here's another time he was being asked questions and had no idea, had to get a note from one of his colleagues who actually did know.
What are the classifications of firearms?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what I can tell the member is that Bill 21 addresses a number of concerns that we've heard from all Canadians, but it is to ensure that
If he's getting past a note right now with them, without looking at that note, what are the classifications for firearms in Canada? He's a public...
The Honourable Minister.
restricted, non-restricted, and prohibited, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, this is the public safety minister. Somebody passed him a note with those classifications. Does the public safety minister not know the classifications of firearms at the committee of the whole? Yes or no?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the questions before us today involves Bill 21, and I will advise this House that...
The Honourable Member.
Classifications of firearms has nothing to do with that. We're not talking about Bill C-21. We're talking about whether something so basic as how a firearm is classified is known by the public safety minister.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the issue is about Bill 21, and our intention is to ensure that law-abiding gun owners have the ability to hold on to their guns, at the same time taking...
The Honourable Member.
About law-abiding gun owners, but he doesn't even know what classification would be owned by somebody or not owned by somebody. How is that possible, Mr. Speaker?
Well, it isn't possible, and that's the reality of the situation here. Is you have a guy who's wholly unqualified for this position, and he's in this position. But is this really surprising to any of us? This seems to be par for the course for the Canadian government, that people just fail upwards. I'm sure if this guy does a bad enough job, he'll become prime minister one day. This is literally how things go in this country. It's unbelievable. But at the end of the day, where are we with this? We are talking about a gun buyback scheme that, for one, shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be a thing. And the government is spending a ton of money at this. Juno News reporting that Canadians are going to be paying about roughly $1 billion for this liberal gun grab. It's unreal. So originally, the original budget was $200 million. Now the Liberal government's 2020 long gun ban is now estimated to cost taxpayers almost $1 billion. And this is $1 billion. And what does it do? Is it going to really take guns off the streets so that people are going to be safe? No, this is going after law-abiding gun owners. This is about guns that are in safes. These are about guns that are in the hands of individuals who are... It's right in the registration, is right in the possession and acquisition licenses. They're going through all the steps to acquire these things legally, and this is what the government is targeting. So by going after people who own these firearms, who have them registered, and the government knows about it, are those really guns that are out there being used in crimes? No, that's not the case. They're really targeting law-abiding gun owners. Now, this was an election issue. This was something that the Conservatives have brought to the table, but the Canadian government, or the Canadian people, have voted for this. This is really where we're at. So, yeah, congratulations on your promotion, sir. This is where we're going with this. But what do we do? What do we do from here? Well, we draw more attention to it. We draw more attention to the fact that these people are completely unqualified for the job that it is that they hold, and because they're unqualified, they won't be qualified for bringing in new legislation and new targeted things to come after law-abiding gun owners. This is why we should be standing up to this. Absolutely. Big shout out to the CCFR for posting these videos and making these things available. If you care about gun rights in Canada, make sure you go on over to the CCFR website. You can find that if you're following them on X, and give them a big fat donation, because this is really the thin line of defense that we have here in Canada for gun owners and gun rights. So head on over there. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And of course, as always, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.